using AI to protect against AI image manipulation. As we enter a new era where technologies powered by artificial intelligence can craft and manipulate images with a precision that blurs the line between reality and fabrication, the specter of misuse looms large. Recently, advanced generative models such as DALL-E and Midjourney, celebrated for their impressive precision and user-friendly interfaces, have made the production of hyper-realistic images relatively effortless. With the barriers of entry lowered, even inexperienced users can generate and manipulate high-quality images from simple text descriptions, ranging from innocent image alterations to malicious changes. Techniques like watermarking pose a promising solution, but misuse requires a preemptive, as opposed to only post hoc, measure. In the quest to create such a new measure, researchers from MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, (CSAIL), developed PhotoGuard, a technique that uses perturbations, minuscule alterations in pixel values invisible to the human eye but detectable by computer models, that effectively disrupt the model's ability to manipulate the image. PhotoGuard uses two different attack methods to generate these perturbations. The more straightforward encoder attack targets the image's latent representation in the AI model, causing the model to perceive the image as a random entity. The more sophisticated diffusion one defines a target image and optimizes the perturbations to make the final image resemble the target as closely as possible. Consider the possibility of fraudulent propagation of fake catastrophic events, like an explosion at a significant landmark. This deception can manipulate market trends and public sentiment, but the risks are not limited to the public sphere. Personal images can be inappropriately altered and used for blackmail, resulting in significant financial implications when executed on a large scale, says Hadi Salman, an MIT graduate student in electrical engineering and computer science, EECS, affiliate of MIT CSAIL, and lead author of a new paper about PhotoGuard. In more extreme scenarios, these models could simulate voices and images for staging false crimes, inflicting psychological distress and financial loss. The swift nature of these actions compounds the problem. Even when the deception is eventually uncovered, the damage, whether reputational, emotional, or financial, has often already happened. This is a reality for victims at all levels, from individuals bullied at school to society-wide manipulation. PhotoGuard in practice. AI models view an image differently from how humans do. It sees an image as a complex set of mathematical data points that describe every pixel's color and position. This is the image's latent representation. The encoder attack introduces minor adjustments into this mathematical representation, causing the AI model to perceive the image as a random entity. As a result, any attempt to manipulate the image using the model becomes nearly impossible. The changes introduced are so minute that they are invisible to the human eye, thus preserving the image's visual integrity while ensuring its protection. The progress in AI that we are witnessing is truly breathtaking, but it enables beneficial and malicious uses of AI alike, says MIT professor of EECS and CSAIL principal investigator Alexander Madry, who is also an author on the paper. I view PhotoGuard as our small contribution to that important effort. By doing this, any AI model attempting to modify the original image will now inadvertently make changes as if dealing with the target image, thereby protecting the original image from intended manipulation. The result is a picture that remains visually unaltered for human observers, but protects against unauthorized edits by AI models. As far as a real example with PhotoGuard, consider an image with multiple faces. You could mask any faces you don't want to modify, and then prompt with 2 men attending a wedding. Upon submission, the system will adjust the image accordingly, creating a plausible depiction of 2 men participating in a wedding ceremony. Now, consider safeguarding the image from being edited. Adding perturbations to the image before upload can immunize it against modifications. In this case, the final output will lack realism compared to the original, non-immunized image. All hands on deck. Key allies in the fight against image manipulation are the creators of the image editing models, says the team. A collaborative approach involving model developers, social media platforms, and policymakers presents a robust defense against unauthorized image manipulation. Working on this pressing issue is of paramount importance today, says Salman. And while I am glad to contribute towards this solution, Much work is needed to make this protection practical. The prospect of using attacks on machine learning to protect us from abusive uses of this technology is very compelling, says Florian Tramer, an assistant professor at #special char $#rich. The paper has a nice insight that the developers of generative AI models have strong incentives to provide such immunization protections to their users, which could even be a legal requirement in the future. However, designing image protections that effectively resist circumvention attempts is a challenging problem. Once the generative AI company commits to an immunization mechanism and people start applying it to their online images, we need to ensure that this protection will work against motivated adversaries who might even use better generative AI models developed in the near future. Designing such robust protections is a hard open problem, and this paper makes a compelling case that generative AI companies should be working on solving it.